Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Damian Rockefeller, speaking to you from central Cambridge, the home of Aleister Crowley's discovery of the natural law of man in this fractal, beautiful, spinning, infinitely creative web that some call the Matrix, others call the Absolute, some call reality, but I, today, will call it the video game. So, the Jared Lee Loeffner loser assassination, the MK Ultra ritualistic assassination of the 9/11 angel child, much in keeping with the turning of the ages. This ties in very well with the mass death of animals, the blackbirds, the starlings, the fish, the turtle doves in Italy, the symbol of peace falling from the sky. The fish in all the lakes rising in their millions towards the surface, suffocated in the very environment which was meant to keep them safe. What do all these things mean? What we are seeing in the general fractals of reality within the organized matrix, which is dictated by the goddess, on this Luciferic level, which is a challenge, we are seeing the acceleration of these fractals, the non-occurrences of similarities and of differences spiraling and flowering out of the one towards the many and back towards the one, either towards zero or towards infinity. It is you who will choose. We will never find any answers, truly, which will satisfy that inherent human, godlike desire for absolute knowledge, because, ladies and gentlemen, there is no such thing as absolute knowledge. Let's ask the scientists working at CERN, at the Large Hadron Collider, what absolute knowledge means to them. Within the Higgs boson particle, the God particle, you will find billions of other particles, each one spiraling towards billions of other particles, every single one slightly different but representative of the one true, original, Platonic symbol of perfection, which itself, if you looked closely enough, would be found to have millions and billions and trillions and gazillions and brazillions of tiny imperfections itself. As we approach the great spiraling of the age of Aquarius, the turning point, which is around 2012, 2013, we will see the absurd, we will see the anarchic absurd spiraling out of this reality and confusing you, much as September the 11th still creates that tingling in the back of your mind. How did they plant those controlled demolition charges in the building without anyone noticing? How do you control a Freemasonic Illuminati fanatic group of demolition experts to keep their mouths shut, much on their deathbeds, much when they are drunk in a bar, much to the government, much to WikiLeaks, which I will discuss in a moment if I remind myself to do such things. Excuse me. As we approach the eschaton, that singularity, that transcendental object at the end of all time. Do not worry, it isn't really the end of time, it's just a bottleneck of spiraling fractals towards a new flowering again. Things are getting very dense, hence all the fear, hence all the state-sponsored terrorism. Before this, it will be very scary and then it spirals out again. As we approach the transcendental object at the end of this age, the age of Capricorn, or whichever age you wish to call it, we will see everything becoming extremely absurd. Things will not have meaning. Charlie Veitch wrote a novel called The Love of the Mathematicians, and it's describing, before he knew about any such matters, how there will be a general madness which will overcome humanity. We start to see this now. Walk down any street in any country in the world, and you will find that most people are terrified and hiding their terror at the nature of reality by proceeding drone-like into their jobs, into their homes, into their relationships with others. There is very little creativity coming around. As we approach this absurdism, you will see magnetic changes on the planet, you will see birds falling out of the sky, you will see 22-year-old mind control victims assassinating angel children from 9/11 outside supermarkets in the States. You will see politicians crying out to try and control free speech, because what free speech is, it's courage on a linguistic level, creating new fractals, and people right now are terrified of where these fractals may take them. In the spirit of Lucifer, as the Dark Lord which brings about the light, as the rebellious spirit which told the goddess that I am sorry, goddess, sometimes I need to go off on my own, sometimes I must dominate, sometimes I must lay on top of you, sometimes I must create my own world. This is the Luciferian world, hence why the Illuminati, hence why the Freemasons worship Lucifer, not to be confused with Satan, which is the reptilian-like representation of all that is machine-like, all that is evil. That is Satan. Please do not confuse Lucifer with Satan. Lucifer is the morning star. He is the bringer about of all that is rebellious, all that refuses to submit, all that will not go down on its knees and bow down towards the Lord. In the film 300, when King Leonidas does not stay on his knees, but instead throws a spear through the face of the great Iranian emperor, that was a Luciferian act. Also, Charlie Veitch's Love Police Academy for Damian Rockefeller, the LPA, stands for Lucifer's People's Army, or the Luciferian People's Army if you prefer. When we have a singularity approaching in a world which has so much evil and poverty and earthquakes and volcanoes and buildings falling down because of missiles or airplanes, when we have state-sponsored terrorism in the form of the Israeli state, there will be a glitch within this matrix that will come out. What these people in the dark side fear most of all is an idea, because all of reality is holographic, and the tiniest idea over here can move mountains of tyranny over here. Because once an idea spreads, and we've seen those fractal diagrams of a tiny little spiral soon taking over the entire Mandelbrot set, once an idea spreads, victory is assured. Do not be assured you will live through this. Many of you will die, much as I may very well die in the age of transition. But remember, as you have seen in the film 2012, the conspiracy theorist played by Woody Harrelson ended up being right. Let that be a message to you. The crazy conspiracy theorist ended up being right at the very edge of the transition from the old age into the new. As I say, this is Lucifer's world because all the animal kingdom is built upon domination, upon hierarchies, upon killing to eat others. Only by becoming a vegan in the human world can you escape the pyramid hierarchy of death, destruction, and the Jay-Z inspired all-seeing eye. Only by stepping outside this box and becoming your own god, by becoming your own Lucifer, can you ever hope to attain enlightenment. Only by becoming one with everything and realizing that all matter is energy condensed to a small vibration. You are the imagination of yourself. And when you realize such things, ladies and gentlemen, you will no longer fear terms such as Lucifer or Satan, because you will see that these things are you. You are all the evil in the world. You are the child abuse. You are the warfare. You are the strife. But you are also that rebellious spirit that will never bow down. You are that which loves the truth. And for that, ladies and gentlemen, you have to realize that yourselves and myself, I am a 33rd degree Mason. It's not even Scottish Rite which I belong to. It's more Red Shield. But I don't want to go into that. My great-grandfather, David Rockefeller, is he an evil man? What is evil? If evil exists inside all of you equally, is he not just your grandfatherly representation of what you are? Could 7 billion people really exist on this planet without hierarchy, without control? Would we have all this technology? Would I have this camera speaking to you right now if it wasn't for this advancement of man? What Eve took a bite of in the Garden of Eden was the machine-like knowledge, the reptilian knowledge and how to create in the physical world, how to become a god of the 3D matrix. And you can only do that by controlling men's minds. But now you are all awakening, as was always destined to happen. You are all attaining your own freedom, as was always destined to happen. As you see, ladies and gentlemen, in the Luciferian spirit of things, have a look at your Statue of Liberty. Lucifer rules all. Lucifer disobeys any god, any master, any goddess. Lucifer will never bow down to another angel. But what Lucifer knows is that without the Creator, without the goddess, he is nothing. They are one and the other, and they connect, sometimes brutally, sometimes lovingly, to bring you your reality. Assassinations of angel children, of 9/11 victims, by a gunman killing congresswomen, or not killing, but brain damaging to an extent where she may never be the same. Animals falling from the sky, China and America rattling their weaponry against one another. Welcome to the age of transition. Welcome to the greatest video game you will ever see. This is Damian Rockefeller. All the best, and praise Lucifer. Hello again. Because I did fail to remember to discuss WikiLeaks and Julian Assange, I'd just like to say that I do not believe Julian is anything other than what he appears to be. He has a very interesting personal life which has led him to be the greatest rebel in cyberspace's history, and anyone who upsets Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama is a friend in my books. Anyone which creates chaos within the fractals of reality, within the fractals of infinity, is a friend of mine. Anyone with balls the size of mountains to go against the greatest brutal system, the American government, that we have ever seen, is a friend of mine. He is a rebel. He is that glitch within the informational matrix which will come about. Every system will eventually destroy itself, because that is the way of infinity. That which creates is also creating its own downfall. And as we all know, ladies and gentlemen, within the matrix, within the Luciferian rebellious spirit of things, any great evil will always self-destruct, because the rebellious angel will never bow down to a boss which does not respect it as an equal. As soon as you have hierarchies, the fractals become twisted and very strange. The acceleration of time right now is very, very strong, and Julian Assange is to be trusted for now. As soon as we know more, we will learn more. Remain skeptical, ladies and gentlemen. WikiLeaks has done some great attacks in the name of humanity against the great machine. WikiLeaks has helped the advancement of man to see that what evil, what Satan himself refuses to do, is to look in a mirror. And WikiLeaks is that mirror. And because we are all one, what we are seeing is all of humanity is the mirror for the actions of statism, of the Americans, of the British, of the machine. This is not to say that any government around the world is any better. All government is incorrect. All government is inherently a lying machine, an evil machine which can only dominate through force. But you've woken up now, so for WikiLeaks, thank you for existing. All the best.